All right, everybody, here we are. It's Super Bowl Friday. We made it. Eagles, Chiefs, Super Bowl 59. We decided we'd come out and just do a quick broadcast in honor of the Birds. I do have to compliment my partner here, Joe Massi, on his John Runyan Reebok jersey, ladies and gentlemen.
This is vintage. I really only got it because it's the number 69. We'll get into that in a little bit.
But does everybody see here? I want you to show the camera. Show the camera the sleeve on the side. Mm. This is an original Reebok from what? What year is this?
Oh, I don't know, man. We're going back.
2004?
Yeah.
Wow.
Whenever I was able to start wearing men's clothing, yeah.
Wow. Well, good for you. So little Brokeback Mountain. So we're here today, again, talk about the Birds. Hopefully they win this weekend. I don't know if they're going to pull it off. It's going to be a tough task. What do you think?
You gotta have faith, cuz. I think I'm feeling much better about this one than I was in 2017.
Really?
And they won, right? So, and when did they go? They went
2004.
Yeah.
2004 against the Patriots, and they lost. Yeah. So it went Patriots, Chiefs, because they were in it in 22.
And now
the Chiefs again.
Yeah.
So, the one thing I thought was hysterical is, one, you have this incredible Eagles jersey. Right?
Wait, so I don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but why is Runyan incredible? Is the jersey incredible, or because it's Runyan?
So the jersey's incredible, one, because it's just an original. It's not a newly purchased throwback that was bought, that was made a year ago. The fact that it's 21 years old, is pretty astonishing to me. The other thing is, I assume, if you don't mind me asking, was this your father's or was it yours?
No, this one was mine. I mean, I definitely got it because of going to the games with my dad and all like that. But this one was mine.
Okay, because I want our listeners to understand something. You are here in this wonderful jersey. You're here supporting the Birds. I don't know in my lifetime that I met a bigger Eagles fan than your father, Joe Massi, rest in peace.
Yeah.
Do you know anything about the game of football?
I know the basics.
Are you sure?
I don't know. We'll find out later. We're going to play a little trivia game. But, it's like, it's simple. Kanye's daughter is either going to be a rapper or she's not. Denzel's son is either going to be an actor or he's not, right? So, to your point, my dad was one of the biggest Eagles fans we knew. I was either going to follow along or just not be into it. But it's not just basketball. I mean, it's not just football. I'm not into any sports whatsoever. So when I say that, I mean, I enjoyed playing them as a kid, both physical, out front on the street, you know what I mean, playing football. We did it constantly. We had a basketball net in front of the house. And we definitely did, NHL and Madden. They were big when we were kids, you know what I mean? I played it, video games and physically. I even did flag football at Loretta. My pop was the coach for a little bit. But, and he had season tickets forever.
Exactly.
And going to the games with him, tailgating, my mom would make a vat of gravy and meatballs. Those are some of the best memories I have as a kid, period. And so, I loved going to the game. I loved playing it. But the idea of watching 3 hours of
continuous sports,
guys,
not for you,
back and forth, that I'm not really vested in, it's not the Super Bowl. I'm not physically there to enjoy it in a different capacity. It just I was never into it. And because I couldn't really sit through the games on television, I never got into a spot where I was following along with them, who was getting drafted to which team and which players were on the teams. I know a couple. I used to know Randall Cunningham back in the day. My dad made a big stink. Because
we were 7 years old then, Mass. We're 43 now. There's been 19 quarterbacks.
Because he had the gold tip shoelaces. I remember that was a big deal to my dad. Of course, the rivalry with the Cowboys and Emmitt Smith and all like that. So, I know a couple key players.
Which brings me to another interesting point that I think our listeners are going to want to know about our esteemed co-host Joe Massi this weekend. Maybe this is a dream that I made up in my head, but you're here supporting the Eagles for Super Bowl Sunday. Wasn't there a point in your life where you were a goddamn Cowboys fan?
No, I was never a Cowboys fan.
I remember your dad took you to the. You wanted to wear your jersey.
You're asking me. Let me answer. So again, we went to lots of games physically. We tailgated. My brother was too young when my dad had the season tickets, like that stretch of whatever decade or whatever it was. So my mom and I would rotate. You know what I mean? I don't know. I guess my brother and I would stay at my grandmother's or whatever, and my mom and dad would go. Excuse me, or my dad and I would go. But being from Philly, like the worst thing you could do is wear a Cowboys jersey in Philadelphia.
I agree.
So just to break my dad's balls and all his friends' balls, I would wear the Emmitt Smith jersey. And it was so fun for me to just tease them at tailgating time. But what I didn't realize as I grew up is the pressure I was putting on my pop to protect me once we got into the stadium.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Especially at the 700 level.
Like they would throw frozen batteries and stuff. Like they're still crazy now, but they were, I don't know, I don't have any proof, but I feel like they were crazier in the 80s and 90s. And so like, I could remember, we never got into a fist fight, but I could remember my dad getting into verbal arguments with people because I had the Dallas jersey on in the middle of, 40 men with Eagles gear.
Yeah.
And I remember one of his friends.
You put your father's life in danger.
I didn't realize that at the time. I would have never done that had that really sunk in. You know what I mean? I was just teasing my dad's friends. You know what I mean? But I remember one game. It was like a big game, and I bet one of his friends. They were all SEPTA workers. My dad worked SEPTA his whole life. So like, Big Al and there were all these guys from SEPTA and their kids or their wives or whatever. And so I remember I bet this one guy, if the Eagles won, I would burn my Emmitt Smith jersey in one of the barrels in the parking lot. And vice versa. If the Dallas won, Dallas won and he kept his word and he burned the jersey, went home, topless. And so like as a kid,
true 700 level fan there.
Yeah, we were in the nosebleeds the whole time. But as a kid, teasing them, like you grow up with your uncles and stuff, all you do is break balls, especially in South Philly. So like just teasing them was the only angle. And like in the winter, I had the luxury of putting a coat over the jersey, so nobody really knew what I was doing. You know what I mean? But I was never a Dallas fan. It was only to mess with
break balls.
Because that's all I had. I didn't have the knowledge of the game.
Okay.
I didn't have anything else but being a pain in the ass. You know what I mean? I was like a little kid tagging along. And my dad brought me because he loved me and he wanted me to go. But the other guys were like, some of them were almost like, you shouldn't be here if you're not into it and you're not paying attention. You know what I mean? Because their kids were like super duper into it. And I'm like, going is fun.
Yeah.
But I don't need to know number 22 got 18 sacks and he's doing this thing and he's in the fantasy league. That could be a whole nother topic, but how I do with the fantasy leagues when I used to...
run them, basically. Right?
I used to run them from my dad and then my Uncle Steve and Dave when they took over when my dad got sick, but I don't know how to spell or pronounce any of the players' names or which teams they come from.
Jesus
so
Christ.
When there's two dining room tables full of men, everybody's drinking and screaming and eating and they're yelling out names and you got to record everything.
Yeah.
But to stop that, every pick... to ask how to spell a name, or is it Saquon or Saquon or Sasquatch? Like the whole, it added a good 45 minutes onto.
Oh, so they hated you.
They hated me, but because I didn't care about the game and I never participated in the draft, I was used as the data entry guy. You know what I mean? So like it was a gift and a curse, but I never was coming from the city, you don't have any other choice. Like by default, you're an Eagles fan. You know what I'm saying? Or Sixers fan or whatever. But I never, my pop would yell. My pop would be by himself in the basement. And he would stare at the screen and he would yell so loud the neighbors thought we had a party. And it was just him there. But like, you don't see a bunch of women watching Taylor Swift on the screen, a concert or something, right? Like I don't know how to relate it to anything else. So were you sitting with the women? Is that what you're saying? No.
Right.
No, it was just my dad and I in the basement. But my point is, imagine there was one woman sitting in her basement alone watching a Taylor Swift concert. She wouldn't yell at the screen like, you should have performed Bad Blood next. You know what I mean? Like, this idea that you scream at the TV when you have no control over the situation was just so bananas to me. And then when you go there, the last game I was at was in 2018 when they hung the banner after they won. My Uncle Steve and I went, and this screaming is so ridiculous to me. Like, the screaming is not going to help this motherfucker make the punt. You know what I'm saying? Like, the idea that the just that noise coming in and out of your head from all angles, the whole place erupted. And, like, that just seems so, living in the house with one of the biggest fans, it still seemed, like, very foreign to me. You know what I mean?
Well, that's why, you know what FAN stands for, right?
No.
FAN is short for fanatic.
Well, oh, yeah.
You know, people are fanatical about their sports teams, like me. I mean, dude, I've been at weddings, and there's been Notre Dame games going on, and we're in the same hotel as the wedding venue, as where the reception is, and it's been a tie football game, and I've actually said to Antoinette, like, oh, you know what, my stomach's bothering me, I gotta run to the bathroom, and I go up to the hotel room and finish watching the Notre Dame game.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, you always see, like, the old sitcoms where the guy's got the one earbud in, and he's, he's trying to be at dinner, but he's listening to the game. Yeah, like, I never had to worry about that. But the things that I am passionate about, I never screamed when they were on television or screamed when I didn't get my way. And, like, or, like, if, I don't know. I don't know. There's no real good analogy for anything else. But, like, if there were two groups at a concert and one of them took more time on stage and the band I wanted to see didn't make it, I wouldn't be throwing batteries at people cheering for the other band. Like,
I hear you.
It's just so, that whole thing just seemed bananas to me. And, but, it is what it is. I mean, growing up in the city, you're used to it, you know that it exists. But I just never, it was watching, and even the Super Bowl, I'm just starting to get into it now the past couple of years. But for the longest time, I would only participate in the Super Bowl for the commercials. And then when you were able to wake up the next morning and watch them all on YouTube, I stopped watching altogether. But then, like, I don't know, like, once we had kids and like April and I started to settle down, like, I got back into it. Like, I'm into it now, but I'm not watching anything before the NFC or AFC championship in a regular season.
You don't watch even the early round playoff games?
No,
really?
I couldn't care less. I really couldn't. And, like, I want them to win. I have the Apple Sports app on my phone. I get constant notifications. My mother texts me with every play. But I'm not interested in watching. I'm totally fine with 2-3 hours after the game texting the group chat and being like, yo, how do we do? Or Googling it. I'm totally fine with that.
That's fascinating. So I got to tell you, it's funny you're talking about the vet. I remember my first Eagles game with my father. Can't remember what year it was. It was maybe 1989, and it was at the vet. It was against the Giants. It was pouring rain. And I don't know if your dad used to do this. Was your dad a drinker in the game at all or no?
No.
But other
my
guys
dad didn't
were.
Drink at all.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So you can't do this now because you can't bring coolers in. Remember you used to be able to bring coolers in? Like we'd bring hoagies and stuff, so you have to spend money in the stadium. Yeah. So my father, and this is probably a pretty common thing.
Hiding Primos in the puffy coat and all? Yeah.
No. So
we did.
Yeah, what he would do is, because you were allowed to bring the hoagies in, we would go to Josephine's and get the hoagies in the morning, right? Well, then he would ask for extra wax paper. And he would wrap his beer cans
two
in the
cans,
hoagie.
make it look like a hoagie. That's nice.
The bottom,
yeah.
Put the hoagies on top, and he had like 8 beers for the game.
I guess my dad's crew did that. I just, like, as a kid, you're not paying attention to that unless it's coming from your old man. And my dad never drank at a game. Never in a million years.
Well,
he didn't even have a beer or a cocktail. What's it called? Crystal Light was his thing. He did Crystal Light, like, 99%. We talked about it on the last episode. He did woo-woos when he was out at a wedding or something.
Yeah.
And I actually have the recipe for that in the episode. But no, never did anything at the house or at a game.
It's really the only thing he ever drank was the woo-woos at a wedding once.
Once in a blue moon, and then he was heavy on Crystal Light. He did Crystal Light constantly.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Well, in honor of this fascinating reveal that you don't know anything about football, all right, I'm going to ask you some questions.
So hold on. So before I make an answer myself and answer crazy, I would like to say that I know the mechanics. I know the basics of the game.
Well, we're gonna find that out, aren't we? We're gonna find that out.
I don't know player stats. I don't know years things occurred.
Don't worry, I wouldn't do that to you.
And I don't know who is on which team, to be perfectly honest with you. Like, I still refer to them as the Cleese brothers. So I'm very fuzzy on the particulars of the players and the draft.
I don't know that our listeners want to hear your excuses. I think they just I think they just want
No, it's not an excuse. What I'm saying is, and I might prove myself wrong with the horrible answers. What I'm saying is, I am going on record now saying that I know the mechanics enough and the basics enough to get all these right. So let's see what happens.
You guys heard that, right?
Yeah. Let's see what happens.
All right. So here we go. Some of our first few questions here. What is the length of a football field?
100 yards.
Ding ding, winner. How many players are on the football field? So, how many players, if it's offense or defense, you don't have to give me the total. So, how many players are on one side? So, on the offense, how many players are on the field?
From one team, I want to say 11.
Ding ding, winner. Look at that. 2 out of 2. Guys, I'm telling you, I thought he was going to get 1 for 2. Right. Let's go. How do you...
Wait. So let's tell everybody, where's the list from?
This list is from Football Trivia for Dummies. All right. Ready? How do you score points in football? And I'll ask the questions this way. How many points are awarded for a touchdown?
6.
Okay. What can you do after the touchdown? And how many points? You have 2 options.
Extra point is 1, or you could run it in for 2.
Okay, so you can go for the...
Kicking it is 1 extra point, 1 point, and you can run it in for 2.
2-point conversion.
Yeah.
Okay. There's another way.
You just said there were only 2 ways.
No. After the touchdown. So you can score by a touchdown, right? You get points after the touchdown.
You get 6 points for the touchdown.
Correct. But there's also, you get 3 points for something else.
Oh, a field goal.
There you go.
Yeah. So wait, hold. Field goal's 3. Running it in is 2. What's the 1 from?
The 1 is from kicking the extra point. You kick it through.
What's the difference between a field goal and an extra point kick?
Field goal is on 4th down. It's not after the touchdown.
That's not after the touchdown. You said after the touchdown.
Correct.
I'm still correct at 2.
Yeah, you've been correct.
All right.
We passed.
You had me thinking there were 3 after the touchdown.
Okay, ready? There's one more way to score, but first I'm going to ask you if you know what it is. All right? If an offensive player is tackled in their own end zone, what is that called?
I want to say a touchback, but I'm not 100%. You get 2 points for that.
It's called a safety. And yes, you do get 2 points. Good job.
I knew that. Yeah.
I
knew half of it.
What is a touchback?
Oh, when they punt the ball from the complete opposite side and the cat catches it and goes on one knee. Yeah, when they kick the ball from the opposite side and the cat catches it and goes on one knee.
In where?
In his end zone.
Correct.
Yeah.
All right, good job. All right, that's a good one. What is a Hail Mary?
When you throw the ball really far.
To everybody. Right? At the end of the game. You send all your receivers.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it's usually 4th quarter, like no other real options left. You just lob it up and cross your fingers, eyes, and toes. I'm crushing it.
I'm extremely surprised here. We're going to have to get a little bit harder, I think. Is a football really made out of pigskin?
I don't think so. I'm pretty sure it's just leather.
Cowhide.
Yeah.
All right. Well, he's crushing it.
These are super easy. Is there are there levels to the dummy questions?
Here, we'll see. Let me see. Okay, ready? Now I'm going to ask you Eagles questions.
Mm.
Who is the Eagles' all-time quarterback? Best quarterback in franchise history, statistic-wise.
I have no idea. I have no idea. To be honest with you, I have no idea who's in between Cunningham and Hurts.
Donovan McNabb.
Oh, yeah. Okay, my man. Number 5, right?
Number 5.
Yeah.
Good job.
No, I do. I definitely know who Donovan McNabb is. But like I was just saying, I can't tell you. I can't fill in all the spots between Randall and Hurts.
How many yards is the max penalty in football?
10.
15.
Really? The chains are only 10.
I know, but you have unnecessary roughness penalties, which are 15 yards.
Okay.
Yeah, or pass interference.
I'm picking up what you're... I mean, I'm smelling what you're stepping in, but that's a tricky one. Okay.
When you...
So what did I got 1.5 incorrect so far.
When you cross the chains, what happens?
They start the timer over again, and they start the first downs over again.
All right, there you go.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I know these things. I'm just not interested in watching other... Now, I will say, my kids have me interested in sports when they're participating. So when Rocco's games, Julia's dances, Christian soccer games, I'm interested in watching them play. And it got me thinking, like, if I had a family member on the Eagles, I probably would be following them every game. But take, make of that what you will.
All right, here we go. This is probably a little bit harder for you. What position is responsible? I'm going to start with an easy one. What position is responsible for throwing the ball?
The quarterback.
Okay. On the offensive line, which player snaps the ball?
I really don't know the answer. Is it the tight end?
Nope.
No.
He's on the offensive line. It's the center.
Oh, okay.
Here we go, guys. Now we're getting it. All right.
I guess that definitely counts as a basic. All right.
I'm gonna give you the answers for this. There's 4 answers. What do receivers run on the football?
Yeah, can I get a multiple choice?
There you go.
I mean, hook me up, dog.
What do receivers run on the football field? Lanes, routes, points, or angles?
Routes.
Good job.
Let me try to answer without the multiple choice, but then give me the multiple choice if I'm jammed up.
Which position is primarily responsible for covering wide receivers?
On defense, I have no idea.
Linebackers, defensive ends, cornerbacks, or defensive tackles?
Defensive ends.
Cornerbacks.
Cornerback, okay. I'm thinking end, wide end, whatever.
How many forward passes are allowed during one play? 1, 2, 3, or infinity?
Just one. You can go backwards. You can't go forward more than once. Infinity.
When the ball is pitched backwards, what is that called?
A flea flicker? I don't know.
A lateral.
Oh, yeah. What's a flea flicker then?
That's when a flea flicker is when the quarterback takes the snap, pitches the ball to the running back. He fakes like he's going to run, pitches it back to the quarterback, and now he can throw a forward pass.
Wait, we just established you can only have one forward pass. In a flea flicker, you could have 2?
No, you can have 1. He pitched it back to you.
Pitched it back. I got you.
So a lot of these good prop bets, they go through, sometimes you have 200 of them going into the Super Bowl. It can be anything from basically...
When did this start? I've never heard about this.
They've always had them. So
really?
It could be anything from, the coin toss to...
I know the coin toss is...
Who's going to score first? Is it going to be a run? Is it going to be a pass?
Okay, I'm not considering those. You said prop?
They're called prop bets, propositions.
I'm not considering. I knew that they all existed. I'm not considering those prop bets. What I thought you were talking about is what color Gatorade gets dumped on a coach, that kind of stuff.
So they have that as well.
I know, but I never knew those kinds of. I never knew it got that far. Coin toss, first score, first this, first that, first sack, all that stuff. Like I knew that existed, but. I never knew the color of the Gatorade. They got that crazy with it.
Like here's the first one. Ready? National anthem.
Mm-hmm.
Over or under 120.5 seconds. What do you got?
Oh, who's singing it? Do we know who's singing it?
John Batiste. I think it's going to be over.
Yeah, I agree. I'm going to go over.
All right. Kendrick Lamar to open halftime with what song? I think he's going to open it with Humble.
We'll get into this another time. I'm not a crazy Kendrick Lamar fan. Rocco loves him. I respect him as a lyricist, but I'm not. He doesn't really do anything for me. Yeah. I know he's going to close with "Not Like Us," which
absolutely
is crazy to me. But
God, he destroyed Drake. Then it's a shame. I mean, the problem is that there's a lot of people out there who are saying that he's not lying.
Yeah, I mean, it's so hard to prove that, but.
Allegedly.
Just on some straight hip hop shit, yeah. I mean, he definitely took the cake, but only because of how far he's taken it and how disrespectful he's being. Like shooting a video, winning Grammys, multiple Grammys, taking it to the halftime. I think I don't know. The jury's still out on whether
Did you
Drake
hear
writes
they were
all his
playing
own
the
stuff.
song in the background when he won the Grammy?
Yeah, I think bar for bar, he could have given him a little better. Drake could have given him a little better competition. I don't know why he's like not following through with this at all. But yeah, no, for sure. Like in terms of a beef, Kendrick won. But I don't really know. After Good Kid, Mad City, I stopped messing.
Stop messing with him?
Yeah.
All right, we'll move on. Tom Brady's tie color. I'm going to go green.
Either he's going to be like, who was the mother? The brother's mother last time. She had
Kelsey.
one. She had one KFC sneaker, one Eagle sneaker. No, I'm going to say black.
All right, I like that. Black's on there.
Oh wait, you can't just pick any color. They have options to choose from.
Yeah.
How do they know that the options to choose from are accurate?
Because, well, they're just odds.
Can you go with other if you think if it's a color not on the list?
Yes.
All right.
Gatorade colored.
Well, that's another thing too. I don't gamble at all, but the context of I don't gamble I think is helpful because I have this is all foreign to me as well.
Okay. What color Gatorade do you think will be dumped on the winning coach?
I'm gonna go old school with the lemon lime.
Lemon lime? You know what? I'm going to agree with you. I don't think it's going to be orange. I think it's going to be lemon lime.
Can we say lemon lime for Eagles and red for the Chiefs?
Nah, you can only pick one.
You gotta pick one.
Gotta pick one. All right, coin toss. What do you think? Heads or tails?
Tails.
Tails. I'm going to go heads.
Tails.
What do you have for your prediction this week?
Like I said, I feel good. I feel better than I did in 2017, and I thought they were going to lose, and I'm glad I was proven wrong. I think the Eagles are going to win. I don't really know enough to say what the score is going to be. I feel like it's going to be low, though. I feel like it's going to be extremely difficult for anybody to get really far ahead. You know what I mean? So I think generally both. I don't want to say single digits, but I think we're definitely gonna be low for sure. The whole overall is gonna be low. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking 31-21 Eagles. I think Saquon is going to rush for over 200 yards. I think the defense is just going to annihilate Mahomes all day. I think they're going to get to him and give him a ton of pressure. I truly don't think it's going to be as close of a game as people think. 31-21 Birds. Let's go!
I guess we can officially call this episode 3, right? Why not?
You know what?
It's over a half hour. By the time you edit it, babba-da-beep, babba-da-boop. Listen, in the name of the Father, and the Saquon, and the Holy Ghost. Amen.